GPU.net is one of the most anticipated projects coming up right now. It's a GPU project. I've made a dedicated review on it. Be sure to check it out. It's watched a lot. And they are going to have a node sale, but there were so many questions about this project, and I see so many of the same questions in the chat that I figured that I'd address the most asked ones. So here we go. So the first question is, when is the node sale? Well, the node sale will start on April 5th, and it will work in tiers, but more on that later. Then the second question is, how much does a node cost? Well, at tier 1, where it starts, the price is around 0.05 Ethereum, so that's excluding fees, which means that's around $280, and it goes up to tier 15 with a price of 2.375 Ethereum, so that's around $8,312.50. Now the public sale starts at tier 1, but you can expect some bots to be snagging around, so it's very unlikely that you get in, even though they said they have sniping mechanisms in place. Usually you see projects like this still struggling with that. Just keep that in mind for what it is. And now as a call, I personally can enter in tier 5, which would cost me 0.475 Ethereum, which is around $1,600, but more on that later. So I had one question, which was, when did Alex Becker, Elio Trades and Miles Deutscher get in? Because it's very important to know. We had that whole Satoshi VM troubles a while back, and that really made me think about something like this. We see Alex Becker mentioning it on his channel. We see Elio Trades mentioning it on his channel. And I think I even saw Miles mentioning it already. I'm not quite sure, but that made me wonder when those guys got in, how they got in. Well, it turns out they didn't buy nodes, they bought tokens. So the token sale is already closed, so you can't participate in that anymore, but they bought tokens and they got in at their strategic token round. So that means they will have a big advantage at TGE. The price will already have been going up for a while, so they're not in the node round, but they are in the token sale round. Let's move on to the next question, which is whether or not people are buying a node. And you're not actually buying a node, you're buying a key that gives you the right to set up a node. And I'll explain more about this in a minute, because a node can be run through Amazon Web Services or Contabo, because that was one of the questions. How do I set up a node? Do I need those expensive H100 GPUs, for instance? Well, there are 3 types of tokens. You've got a validator node, which helps validate blocks and secure their proof-of-stake layer 1 blockchain by staking GPU tokens. Then you've got the provider node to provide computing power and earn rewards. And then you've got the queen nodes, which verify the compute provided by the provider nodes and perform drill tests on the host machines. You only buy a node or the option for a node during the sale. It's only later when you can decide which one you want to run. So that will require some additional funds from you as well. So that's something to take into consideration. Then one of the questions was, how big will the share be? Well, your share to the pool will decide how big your reward will be. And that's something to keep in mind, because someone also asked what the formula is for calculating the individual reputation score, which is the core network reward distribution. Now the answer to that, the total reputation score is a combined comprehensive value of health score, node score and compute score. And you can find the formula for each of those in the documents. Now all validator rewards will be accrued in the token bound accounts linked to the license keys NFTs. So there's a minimum lock-in of 90 days before the validators can withdraw their earned GPU tokens to their wallets, and in case the validator wants to exit the ecosystem at any point in time, they can sell their node key NFT and the associated token bound account with accumulated rewards to the marketplace. So I hope that clears something up. Now let's go on to the next one, which is how to mint a node. Well, more information on this will follow, but it will be happening on the Ethereum network. Now, some people have asked it to move it to, let's say, Arbitrum due to all the fees. The team is looking into that, but it certainly turns out that it will be on Ethereum. So make sure you have enough Ethereum if you want to mint a node, because those fees will be very, very high. Right, moving on to the next question, which is how many nodes can we buy? Well, tier 1 allows you to buy 1, tier 2 allows you to buy 2, and so on. So the higher the tier, the more nodes you can buy individually. And then the question was, when will TGE be? Well, TGE is planned for the 2nd quarter of this year. The exact date and time is still unsure, but it will most likely be in June. That's what I read in their Telegram, and that's where I get all these answers from anyways. And then one question was, that was actually a fairly good question. Why will people pay $5 an hour for GPU.net for 1 hour of H100 use, while they could get 8 of those H100 for $12 per hour on Akash? Now, the answer to that question was that their pay-as-you-go prices are higher because all of their H100s are from Tier 4 data centers. They also provide free storage, public IPs, and egress and ingress. Now, do you need technical skills to run a node? That's another question. The answer is no, because they will provide you with the documents on how to set a node up. One question was, I asked how much one GPU would be at launch. So that was my question actually. And they told me it's $1, but it will increase as there is a cap on the max amount of GPU to be airdropped to GPoints holders. Now, the last token round was at 0.42 cents. So just know that those are the statistics, and you can make your decisions on that. Now, the node emissions are not released yet. Someone asked about that as well. And I've had a question as well, like, okay, but what are my rewards are going to be? You know, because I have to invest money. I want to know what the return on my investment is. But they said that the node emissions are not released yet. So that's one thing that's putting me off personally from buying a node right now, because I have no idea what it will generate. Now, what am I going to do? Because I'm part of their call group. There's a separate call group. I'm part of that. I can buy in tier 5, but I'm still contemplating whether or not I'm going to. Some people already did. Some still are on the fence of it. And if you want to know my personal opinion, I've written a very extensive answer to that question because someone asked me what I am going to do, which you can find in my free Telegram linked down below. So if you want to know what I'm going to do with this node sale, be sure to join us there and check it out. And I'll see you guys next time. Doei!